Hello and welcome to this week's Vodcast for Thursday the 30th of September 2010 with me, Kevin Ross, for an easy listening digest of the week's news from the Melton Times. Coming up, Action Group to fight the turbines. Rotarians raise £13,000 for Rainbow's Hospice. Melton Asby celebrate East Midlands in bloom, and in sport a Commonwealth Test awaits Lee. All this and more coming up next in the Melton Times Vodcast for Thursday the 30th of September 2010. And on the front page of the Melton Times this week, Stop the Turbines is the rallying call of an action group fighting proposals for a wind farm near Melton. Peel Energy wants to build up to 10 410-foot tall turbines on the former Asby mine site. Campaigners fighting proposals have set up an action group under the banner Stop to rally support, with thousands of flyers being delivered to local households. The flyer entitled Wind Turbine Threat claims residents in Melton, Asby and Abkettleby will be affected and questions the effectiveness of the proposed turbines. The action group is also inviting residents to attend a public meeting at 7:30 on Wednesday, October the 6th. To take place at the Stute and Welby Lane, Asby Hill. The group says that speakers with first-hand experience will be present. A further public consultation event is expected to be held next month before an application is submitted. For more information about Stop Action Group, visit stoptheturbines.org. A pole dancing mum from Melton is hoping more ladies get in the swing after launching new pole dancing for fitness business. Mum of two, Donna Gant of Baldock's Lane, has been running her first-class pole fitness business from the old dairy unit in North Street, Snow Hill. She's been doing this for the last 3 weeks and has already had an encouraging response. Drop-in sessions are held during the week with other classes and courses coming soon. For more details about the first class pole fitness, call Donna on 07761 439 573 or email firstclasspollefitness@sky.com. The Rotary Club of Melton Mowbray Beaver has celebrated its silver anniversary in style by raising over £13,000 for Rainbows. The sum proceeds from a summer ball and other events with support from the Melton Inner Wheel Club was presented to Emma Lovegrove from the Hospice for Children and Young People last week. Rainbows in Loughborough cares for around 250 life-limited youngsters in the East Midlands every year. And Rainbows has to raise £3.8 million a year to stay open, yet it only receives 9% from government funding. Cups were raised throughout the Melton Borough on Friday as people took part in Macmillan Cancer Support's biggest World Coffee Morning. Among the many successes was an event held at St Mary's Primary School in Melton, which raised a fantastic £360.50. Other world's biggest coffee mornings for Macmillan Cancer took place in Grimston Village Hall, Goby Marwood Village Hall, Stonesbury, Sage Cross Ladies Club and Borough Court in Borough on the Hill. A celebration event has been held to mark the success of Melton and Asby in this year's East Midlands in Bloom competition. Melton was awarded a silver gilt and 2 other awards, while Asby received a silver and a second award for most improved entrant. Features of Melton's entry in East Midlands in Bloom included the new Century Garden in the Country Park, a floral tribute to Malcolm Sargent in St Mary's Churchyard, and a willow fox to reflect this year's theme of locals. Friends and family of Melton teenager who died from a rare and aggressive form of cancer have turned Facebook pink to raise awareness of childhood cancer. Leanne McCann, aged 19, died a year ago last Sunday after losing her brave battle with small cell ovarian cancer. The bubbly teenager, who studied at Brooksville Melton College, refused to let her illness get her down and continued to live her life to the full during her treatment. Leanne's wish before she died was for everyone to carry a pink rose at her funeral. Leanne's friends and family had previously helped raise funds for Click Sargent, which stayed with Leanne and her family throughout her treatment, offering support as well as giving Leanne something to do while she was in hospital. The charity supports children and young people with cancer as well as supporting families. For more information about the charity and childhood cancer, visit clicksargent.org.uk.
Hi, this is Alan Duncan, and you are listening to the Melton Times podcast.
Mother of Martin Wojak, who was killed in a roadside bomb in Afghanistan a year ago, has publicly thanked the people of Melton for their unstinting support. Teresa Woods of Crowson Kerriel said she drew strength from the fact readers continue to honour his memory. She spoke to the Melton Times as the family prepared to mark the first anniversary of his death, which falls tomorrow. Melton's Vicky Hoyles is celebrating after landing a leading panto role, playing opposite TV actor Neil Morrissey. Vicky, aged 26, was watched by millions when she beat 63,000 other hopefuls into the last three of ITV reality show Grease is the Word 3 years ago. And since then her career has taken off. She's currently in Belfast, playing the leading role in Dancing Queen, a production celebrating the music of ABBA and featuring many other 70s hits, which also starts a tour in May and ends next month. An archery and family fun day in Throssington. Morland hit its targets of raising funds for a local primary school and giving adults and children alike a day to remember. The recent event, held at the village camping site by kind permission of Mick Tarry, included clay pigeon shooting, archery, bouncy castles, tea tent and lots more. And staying with schools and finally news, children at Sherrard School in Melton took part in a special fundraising day for Loris and raised more than £200. Pupils and teachers dressed up in silver on Friday, having listened to talk about the charity at a special assembly earlier in the week. The day was part of a county-wide fundraising drive to celebrate Leicester's Hospice's 25th anniversary. And in free time this week, there's only one place to go, and that is Brooksby Hall for the East Midlands Food and Drink Festival. Thousands of people are expected to flock to the event, which takes place between 10 and 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. There's a packed show in store with more than 200 exhibitors eager to showcase their local produce, from award-winning cheeses, sausages and pies to a selection of fine wines and beers. There'll also be cookery demonstrations from TV chef Rachel Green and Alan Coxon, professional chef Luffy Coughlin, renowned pie maker Stephen Hallam of Dickinson and Morris and the Melton Pork Pie Association. Also there'll be professional home economist Teresa Bovey and a ticket-only performance by the Lovely Bubbly, who specialise in supplying handcrafted champagne. A new feature this year is the Change for Life Family Food and Fun Zone, especially designed for children. The festival will also feature a food library with food critic from The Guardian, Charles Campion, chairing food debates over the weekend. The food library will also include esteemed panellist Kate O'Mara, the Cheese Society, and the UK's only cheese cafe, and Tim Hayward, broadcast and editor of Fire and Knives. Information can be found at goleicestershire.com, or more information go to eastmidlandsfoodfestival.co.uk. And of course, not to forget, we'll have a special podcast for you on Monday with interviews with all the celebrities. And finally, in free time, looking at the big screen, the 1960s was a time of great change. America mourned the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and the civil rights movement gained momentum and man took his first steps in the moon. For 187 Winneman machinists employed at Ford Dagenham's assembly plant in 1968, it was a decade when a single act of rebellion changed history. More information, go to the Regal Cinemas website at regal-melton.co.uk or give them a call on Melton 562251.
I'm Rob Dorset, the Midlands correspondent with Sky Sports News, and you're listening to the Melton Times podcast.
And on the back page this week, shooter Sharon Lee has her sights trained on a medal haul as she jets off to Delhi for her third Commonwealth Games. The Quinnipiac nurse is due to join the England team in India this morning after setting off from Heathrow late last night. There she'll be aiming to go one better than 4 years ago when she won a silver medal in the prone pairs in Melbourne. And finally in sport, batsman James Taylor will be in the touching distance of the Ashes this winter, after selectors named him in a 16-man squad for this winter's English performance programme. England selectors are keeping a close eye on the development of the 20-year-old from Borough-on-the-Hill, who'll spend the first half of the Ashes series in Australia. Well, that's about it. Of course, the full stories can be found in the Melton Times. So until next week, when we'll have yet more news and sport, have a very safe week. That was a JK Media production for the Melton Times.